All right, we're live from Kentwood Ice Arena for Game 3 of the Medal of Honor tournament. Force are 2-0. Should have a quality stream. Everything looks good. Welcome in. We're at less than a minute of warm-ups here. Game 3, Medal of Honor tournament. This is Fort Wayne Force against the Fox Motors Hockey Club. Game's about to start. Warm-ups are over. Starting off on the ice for the Force is going to be Huffman, McDonald, and Fryer. Back on defense is going to be Warner and Llewellyn. Game 3, Medal of Honor tournament. Face-off controlled by Fox Motors. Puck comes out center ice. It's going to be picked up by Warner. Warner has it taken away. Back checking there by Max McDonald. Fox Motors enters the offensive zone. Poke checked away there by Llewellyn. Advance down the ice. Stripped away by Fox Motors. Goes back into Force's offensive zone. Pressure put on there by Max McDonald. Down the ice, puck goes. No icing. Llewellyn's going to pick it up behind the net. Rink wide for Warner. Taken away by Fox Motors through the crease. Zaremba onto the stick of Sutherland. Isaac gaining speed. Isaac 2-on-1 with Fryer. Shot. Glove save, Munoz. And it comes out of his glove and goes into the net. First score scored by Isaac Sutherland at 11:37 remaining in the first. Face-off control by the Force on the stick of Cumberland. Aiden, spinorama, throws it down behind the net. Picked up by Sutherland. Another shot attempt by the Force. Blocked in front. That was Zaremba. Westhoff battling forward on the boards. Puck comes out. Fox Motors gains possession through center ice. Poked away. Cumberland with steal now. Slap shot, save Quas. Face off, gathered up by Hagen. Hagen with some speed. Hagen with one to beat. He's got Potsy there. Another shot attempt. Save there, Munoz. Puck thrown down behind, comes out to Hagen as he shoots one. It comes clear back to center ice. Kiefer gathers it up, passes it ahead to Hagen. Hagen loses it off his stick, back to Kiefer. Slapped in by Fox Motors, gathered up behind the net by Blackburn. Blackburn advances the puck down the ice, chips it into the bench. Off of Llewellyn's hand. Max McDonald take the face off. One back by Fox Motors. Shot. Couldn't get anything on it. Gia clears it out. Gonna go rink all the way down the ice for icing. 10:16 left here in the first. Score is 1-0. Force. Puck gathered up by Fox Motors. Shot, glove save, Quas. Puck back and forth, gathered up now by Fryer. Max McDonald gonna pick it up behind the net. Backhands it back to Gia. Huffman throws it down, back in deep. Pressure put on by McDonald. And now Huffman in to steal it. Behind the net, Fox Motors surveys, breaks out. Back on defense is going to be Kiefer and Blackburn. Shot goes high of the net. Gathered up by Fox Motors. Shot from deep, blocked in front by Blackburn. Backhand into Quas as he covers it up, freezes that puck. Face-off win by the Force. Llewellyn puts it around the boards for Zaremba. Fox Motors gets there first. Taken away now by Sutherland, up to Zaremba. Up to the blue line, but not out. Now into center ice, onto the stick of Westhoff, and now over to Sutherland. Isaac looking for two, shot. Goes off the side of the net. Comes out to the blue line, swiped at there by Llewellyn. Back on defense is going to be Warner. Fox Motors swings wide, approaches the net. Shot goes in front of Quas and covered up. 8:47 remains in the first. Puck comes over in the corner. Warner fighting for it. Now Sutherland and Zaremba. Fox Motors now in control. Shot towards the net. Blocked in front there by Llewellyn. Backhanded out to Westhoff. Oliver advances the puck through center ice. Taken away by Fox Motors. And he gains possession back of the puck for a moment as he's swarmed by Fox Motors players. Back on defense now is going to be Llewellyn and Warner. Fox Motors swings wide, has somebody in the slot, pass attempt, blocked there by the goaltender Quas. Fed ahead and out by the Force. Sutherland trying to gather it up, can't. Fox Motors dumps it back down low. Llewellyn going to be the first one there for Fort Wayne. Comes out to center ice, pass connected for a moment with Zaremba as he comes off his skates. Sutherland overskates it. Now Potts with possession of the puck. Back for Llewellyn. 7:39 on the clock. Llewellyn loses a handle on it as Fox Motors dumps it back down deep. We got an interference call, I believe, here on Llewellyn. So the Force are going to go to a Cumberland and Sons penalty kill as Mason to the penalty box. Penalty killers for the Force is going to be Potts, Hagen, Cumberland, and Huffman. Face-off gathered up by the Force. Puck comes out to the blue line. Fox Motors gathers. Feeds it back in. Picked up by Huffman. Huffman throws it wisely into center ice. And we have different penalty times for every game we played. Sometimes it's a minute on the penalties. This time we're at a minute and a half. Fox Motors can't clear it out as Hagen gets possession of the puck. Dumps it back in. Now for the stick of Potts. Potts has it swiped away. Hagen picks it up. Hagen cuts towards the net. Out wide, shot. Doesn't connect on the net. Back for Huffman. Huffman keeps it in. Sent back now down the ice, and Cumberland going to be racing after it for the Force. Lifts a stick, takes the puck away. 30 seconds left on the Llewellyn penalty as Cumberland going coast to coast here. Crosses the blue line, shoots it, blocked in front before it had a chance to get to the net. Backhanded to Fraze. Now sits on the doorstep as Hagen and Huffman are back on defense. Hagen steals it away with his skate, backhands it out of danger. We're less than 10 seconds now on the Llewellyn penalty. Behind the net, Blackburn off the bench to get the puck. Fans on a pass attempt, stolen away by Fox Motors, regains possession of it and throws it back to no man's land and picked up now by Huffman. That's Kelly. Both on the ice, 8 and 9. Cora Kelly back now, gathers the puck, surveys, throws it ahead to Fryer, skips his stick, and Fox Motors keeps it in. Penalty is expired. We're back to full strength for the Force. Huffman putting the pressure on Fox Motors. Onto the stick of Fraze, right in front, can't gather it, now does, shot, score! Murphy Fraze. Fraze from Huffman. 5:20 left in the first. Now the Force up 2-0. Face-off controlled by Fox Motors. Block pass attempt, but they maintain possession of the puck. Swinging wide, defended by Llewellyn. Force down behind the net, feed the slot, nobody home. Out wide, shot from deep, blocked in front by Max McDonald. He fans on a pass clearing attempt, and now gets it to the neutral zone. Fed back in, it's going to be offsides. McDonald falls on that puck, comes out to Fryer, backhanded into the offensive zone for Fort Wayne. Around behind the net, gathered by Fox Motors. Defended well there by Fryer. Going to try the other direction. Huffman poke checks it. Fryer keeps it in for the moment. But Fox Motors Hockey Club dumps it down low. Back for Llewellyn. Llewellyn behind the net. Up to Fryer. Touch pass. Taken away by Fox Motor. Swinging in wide. Couldn't get a shot off. Defended there by Warner. And now cleared out of danger into the neutral zone with 4 minutes remaining in the first period. Huffman knocks it off the Fox Motors player's stick. Up high. Gathered by McDonald. McDonald picking up speed. Winding wide. He's got Westhoff. Shot. Kick to the side by Munoz. Fed up high for Llewellyn. Shot from deep. Tipped around in front and score! Now either that was tipped off Westhoff or it went off Fox Motors defender and into the net. So not sure who to give credit to that, but we'll give it to Llewellyn for the time being. Yeah, puts a Force up 3-0, 3:39 left in the first. Puck back for Huffman. Gathered up by Fox Motors. Loose puck. Possession gained by Zaremba. He loses it for a moment. Back and forth puck goes. Now it's fed into the neutral zone as Zaremba still fighting for it. Back for Kelly. Kelly feeds it around the boards for Westhoff. Westhoff comes off his skates and Cumberland there. Picked up now by Cumberland. Cumberland and Westhoff are the breakout players here for the Force. Cross the blue line, shot from deep. He's blocked in front. Doesn't have a chance to make it to the net. Fox Motors can't clear it out. Now picked up by Zaremba. Backhanded shot attempt. And now Fox Motors seeing if they can't get a breakaway here. Cumberland on defense, swipes at it, knocks it off his stick for a moment. Kick to the side by pad of Quas. Cleared out now by Zaremba. Puck comes back down low. It sounded like a whistle, I thought. That was played with a high stick. 2:26 left in the first. Force up 3-0. Fox Motors with possession of the puck through center ice. Taken away. Pocket pick by Fraze. Into the offensive zone. Got Fraze, Hagen, and Potts up front for the Force. Feeds Potts. Potts trying to handle the pass. Backhands it down low. Fraze now shot. Score! Potts to Fraze. Murphy with his second. 2 minutes left in the first, and the Force go up 4-0. Face-off one back by Murphy. And Fox Motors enters, gets a shot, but blocked by Hagen up front. Picked up by Blackburn behind the net. Fed up and out. Taken away by Fraze. Fraze on a breakaway now. Fraze towards the net. Spinorama here for Fraze. Can't handle it as he comes off his skates. Into the neutral zone. Fox Motors the other way now. Blackburn and Kiefer back on defense. Kiefer poke checks it off the stick of the Fox Motors player, and they shoot it off the side of the net into Blackburn's skates. Puck is getting kicked around now. Fox Motors behind the net. Defended there by Kiefer. Kiefer takes it away. Feeds it up ahead to Potts. Potts chips it up in the air onto the stick of Hagen. Hagen finding some open ice. You got Hagen and Fraze out front for the Force. Hagen shot from deep up over the top of the net. Gathered up by Fraze. Murphy towards the net. Feeds it across to Huffman. She shoots and it's off. Munoz comes back to Huffman. Now to Llewellyn. Over to Fraze. Murphy keeps it in and dumps it down low for Hagen. Hagen spins and tries to shoot it. Blocked in front. Fox Motors going the other way now. Defended there by Warner. After their shot attempt goes off a stick out front and up over the net. Another shot there. Goes through the crease. Max McDonald to take it away. You got McDonald and Hagen out front for the Force. Max. Shot. Blocked before it had a chance to get to the net. Huffman backhands it around to McDonald. McDonald to Hagen. Can't connect. Llewellyn up high. A shot from deep. Tip attempts happened and it goes wide of the net. Period ends 4-0 Force after one. Second period, face-off one back by the Force. Cumberland feeds it ahead to Fryer. Fryer backhands it down the ice as McDonald gains possession of the puck. Sends it in deep around the boards. Huffman there battling for it. Fox Motors comes away with it, throws it to center ice. That pass is intercepted by Fryer. Fryer trying to get a handle on it, onto the stick of Max McDonald. Backhand shot attempt blocked out front. Comes back for Kelly. Kelly puts it into center ice and dumped back in by Fox Motors. Zipped around the glass by Cumberland. Fryer now to advance the puck. Max McDonald. Now Cumberland skips his stick. Fox Motors enters with the 2-on-1 against Kelly. Feed it across. Shot off the side of the net. Cleared away now with a backhand by Kelly. Pressured by Huffman. Back down low for Fox Motors. Rink wide pass, can't connect, but up high for Fox Motors. Dump back down low. Around behind the net, that's going to be Kelly. Puck comes out. It's covered up by Quas. Face-off controlled by Westhoff. Westhoff up the boards. Trying to win a foot race here. Shoots it from wide. Goes around behind. Pressured by Zaremba. Fox Motors with Blackburn back on defense. Swipes it to the corner. They try to centering feed. Can't quite get it up there. Now Westhoff feeds it ahead. Kept in by Fox Motors. Down low for Westhoff. Fox Motors with a shot from deep. Goes wide right. Zaremba there for the force. Now taken with Sutherland. Up the ice. Offsides. Face-off won back by Murphy Fraze to Kiefer. Kiefer sends it ahead to Westhoff. Taken away by Fox Motors. Kiefer with the stick lift, but Fox Motors maintains possession. Centering feed. Nobody home. Blackburn now with the puck. Feeds it ahead to Hagen. Hagen down the ice. Hagen feeds it over to Potts. Potts, shot, score! Hagen to Potsy. 5-0 force at 10:25 left in the second. Face-off won back by the force to Warner, out to Potts, dumped into the offensive zone for Fort Wayne. Hagen trying to intercept the pass here. About took off as Fox Motors reverses direction. Taken away and kept in by Potts. And now Fox Motors into the offensive zone. Defended there by Llewellyn. Centering feed blocked away by Fraze, out to Potts. Couldn't handle the pass, shot from deep, blocked in front by Llewellyn. He throws it into center ice. Oh, it couldn't get it out. Fox Motors keeps it in. Back and forth the pucks go. Fraze now off the boards to Potts. Comes out to Hagen. He chips it into the neutral zone, and Potts is the lone Fort Wayne player. Dumped in deep. Taken away by Fraze. Murphy surveys. Throws it wisely into the corner for Hagen. Hagen picks it up, cuts around behind the net, reverses direction, has a lot of room to skate, not really being challenged. Huffman now with the puck, feeds it out to Llewellyn. Llewellyn with a shot from deep. Now picked up by Fraze. Murphy, backhanded towards the slot, cleared out by Fox Motors. Going to be slapped at by Warner. Goes into the corner for Huffman. Gia throws it back down low. Hagen blocks a pass attempt, skates towards center ice, shot, doesn't connect with the net. Hagen now with the puck, goes straight towards the net, shot kicked to the side by Muno. Around the boards it comes. Swiped at by Llewellyn, kept in for the moment. Fox Motors going to clear it out to center ice. Shot from deep. Glove saved there by Quas. 8:22 left in the second. 5-0 force. Advancing the puck here is Fryer. Fryer shoots, skates through to the opposite corner, fought for by Huffman, kept in by Cumberland. Fighting for the puck there is Cumberland and Max McDonald. McDonald comes away with it, runs into a wall as the puck goes to the corner. Round the boards, Fox Motors feeds it. Kelly to keep it in. Defended there by McDonald. Onto the stick of Huffman. Huffman skates towards the center, shoots up high over the top of the net. Up but not out, kept in by 2 players and now skated into the neutral zone. Cumberland, offsides. Face-off controlled by Fort Wayne onto the stick of Westhoff. Dumps it off the boards and in deep. Sutherland and Zaremba ahead there for Fort Wayne. Reverse directions by Fox Motors. Westhoff there, putting some pressure on. Fox Motors skates around him, picking up speed, across the blue line into their offensive zone towards the net. Shot, I believe, goes off the side of the net, cleared out by Blackburn. Into neutral zone, Fox Motors gathers, tries to feed it ahead. Their passing attempt is blocked in front there by Sutherland. Zaremba dumps it in to the corner. Fox Motors gathers, pressure by Westhoff. Fed up ahead, defended well there by Kiefer. Now Sutherland picks up the loose puck. Reverses directions. He's stopped by Fox Motors. Shot attempt goes wide right. Zaremba to try to chip it ahead is successful, and Fox Motors regains possession back in their defensive zone. Fed up ahead. Westhoff collects that pass, dumps it in for Fort Wayne. Westhoff now gets possession of the puck, has Zaremba there, tries to feed him. Blocked pass attempt by Fox Motors. Westhoff sticking at it. Wraparound goal by Oliver Westhoff. Picked it up around behind the net and dumps it in. We have 5:50 remaining here in the second period. As it is 6-0 Force. Fraze puts it down the ice. It's going to go for icing. Right off the face-off, Fox Motors wins it, puts it up over the top of Quas to notch one on the board. A score by Fox Motors. That was number 53. With 5:39 remaining in the second. 6-1 Force. Face-off controlled by Fort Wayne. Hagen enters the offensive zone. Hagen around a couple, loses a handle on it into the corner. Hagen swinging around towards center ice, makes a couple moves, shoots it towards the net. And I believe his initial shot was pad saved there by Munoz, and then Fraze picks up the loose change and puts it in. And I believe that's his third hat trick for Murphy Fraze. 5:23 left in the second. It's going to be 7-1 Force. Face-off controlled by Fort Wayne. Potts with the puck for the moment. Feeds it into the offensive zone, gathered by Fox Motors. They send it all the way down the ice. It's going to go for icing. Face-off controlled by Fox Motors Hockey Club, but pass attempt is blocked by Max McDonald, kept in there by Kelly. Taken away by Fox Motors into the neutral zone, picked up by Cumberland. Cumberland has it taken away, but regains possession of the puck. Now Fox Motors can't quite get a handle on that shot attempt. Picked up by Max McDonald. Fed back in by Fox Motors for Kelly. Kelly around behind the net, feeds it over to Fryer. Taken away by Fox Motors. Shot goes off the side of the net. Gathered by Cumberland. Flipped ahead to Huffman. Touch passed into center ice. Taken away by Fox Motors. Now into the skates of Cumberland as he backhands it back down the ice. And Fox Motors gains possession of the puck. Fryer and Cumberland dumps it in deep. Sutherland to apply the pressure for the Force, takes it away, throws it out to Huffman. Huffman back down into the corner. Around the boards it goes by Fox Motors into the neutral zone and down the ice. Cumberland going to be the first one there for the Force. Taken away by Fox Motors, and now Cumberland. Fox Motors in the corner, throws it through center ice and goes rink wide. Up high for Fox Motors. Shot attempt, it might have been a pass attempt around the boards. Fox Motors out front, cleared there by Kelly. Blocked pass attempt there by Kelly. Comes out front, swiped that, couldn't connect for Fox Motors. Fryer to try to throw it up and out, kept in. And now down low. Fox Motors comes away with it, shot attempt. Pad save there by Quas. Fryer. And now Cumberland. Fox Motors towards center. Tried to get a pass the slot there. Couldn't connect. Picked up by Huffman. She throws it around for Fryer. Fox Motors dumps it back in. Kelly gets possession of the puck. Looking for a spot to go into center ice there by Huffman. Gathered up again by Fox Motors as they bring it back down to the offensive end. Kelly to pick it up now. Throws it around the boards. Onto the stick of Fryer. He's got Cumberland ahead. Tries to get it to him. Stolen away by Fox Motors. Good pass there by Fox Motors. Cut it towards the center ice here. Shot. Saved by Quas initially, but then hopped over into the goal. Fox Motors with a score here at 2:06 left in the second. Brings the score to 7-2 Force. There's a goal by number 25, I believe, from Fox Motors. Conversation, the official here. That's what the delay is in the puck drop. Clarification on some stats, maybe. 2:06 remains in the second. Faceoff picked up by Westhoff for a moment, has it knocked away, back for Kiefer. Kiefer up ahead to Westhoff. Westhoff dumps it in. Back into the neutral zone by Fox Motors. Knocked away by Zaremba onto the stick of Sutherland. Sutherland swinging wide. Taken away by Fox Motors. Back on defense is going to be Kiefer and Blackburn. Fox Motors advances the puck. Blackburn misses that stick attempt. Shot. Score. Clawing their way back in is Fox Motors. I believe that's 7-3. The scoreboard says 7-1 here, but I'm pretty sure it's 7-3. 1:33 remains in the second. Face-off controlled by Fort Wayne. That's Murphy Fraze. Backhands it down low. Gathered up by Fox Motors. Taken away by Fraze. Fraze into center ice. Onto the stick of Hagen. Hagen around one. Hagen's got one more to beat. He's got Fraze. Feeds it over to Murphy. Murphy with the backhand. Right to Hagen. Score! Hagen to Fraze. Back to Hagen. Minute left in the third, and it goes to 8-3. Goals in the bunches in this one. From both teams. We're second period, and we got 11 goals. 8-3, Fort Wayne. Loose puck at center ice picked up by Hagen. He throws it down deep into the corner. We're under a minute here in the second period. Fox Motors backhands it up, chips it into the neutral zone, picked up by Fraze. Murphy throws it back in. Kept in by Hagen. Hagen passes it over to Potts, can't handle the pass, now picked up by Fraze. Murphy looking to make something happen, comes out to Llewellyn. He can't handle that pass, and now Potts battling for the puck. These two players come together. Hagen now tries to feed it across where Fraze picks up the loose change here. He does a slap shot, kick to the side by Munoz. Now Hagen out to Warner, back to Hagen. Period's going to expire, 8-3, Fort Wayne. One period of play remains here, 8-3 Force. Taking the face-off is going to be Max McDonald. He wins it back to Warner. Warner throws it up into the offensive zone, gathered by Fox Motors. Pressured there by Max McDonald. Taken away by Huffman, offsides. We got a running clock here in the third. I don't know if that's accidental or due to the score, but no stoppage in the clock, so it'll be a straight 13 minutes. Backhanded cross ice, stolen away by Fox Motors. Shot attempt, save there by the pad of Quas. Picked up by Warner, fed down to Fryer. Dumps it ahead to McDonald, taken away by Fox Motors. Through center ice. Swings wide, throws it towards the net, goes wide. Stripped by Fox Motors once again. Blocked shot attempt there by Huffman. Warner to crank it around the boards, up and kept in by Fox Motors. Warner again with the clearing attempt. Now it goes all the way down the ice for icing. This loose puck's going to be gathered up by Westhoff. Back down low for Cora Kelly. Up to Zaremba. That hit the official, I think, and stopped, but Zaremba gets possession of it, chips it around one player, Sutherland, and Zaremba there for Fort Wayne. Picked up by Fox Motors. Cross ice pass from Kelly to Westhoff. Can't handle that pass as Fox Motors comes in. Ooh, he hit his own player. Picked up by Westhoff. Oliver has it stripped away over to Zaremba. Zaremba takes a shot. Glove there by Muno. We have a penalty. We have a penalty on Westhoff. I must have missed that. Hagen now battling for it down low. Short-handed. Hagen around behind the net. Feeds it up to Blackburn. Blackburn looking for a shot attempt. Shoots. Gloved away by Muno. Fed out to center ice. Picked up by Blackburn. Blackburn throws it back to Fraze. Fraze off the boards and into the offensive zone. Now gathered by Fox Motors. Pressured by Hagen. Out to Kiefer at center ice. Loses a handle on it. Stolen away by Fox Motors. Blackburn back as the lone defender. Swiped that by Fraze. Shot blocked by Blackburn. Fraze off the boards. Kept in by Fox Motors. Now Blackburn gathered it for a moment. Taken back by Fox Motors. Backhand shot attempt. Covered up by Quas. Face-off gathered up by Fort Wayne. Cleared to center ice. Out of the box is Westhoff. Onto the ice, Huffman. Back to full strength. 8:25 remains in the third. Running clock. Fox Motors towards the center. Makes a couple moves. Shot. Save Quas. Kick to the side. Around into the corner for Fryer. Fryer throws it all the way down the ice. He's saying it's tipped. Icing is waved off. Huffman going to be out front there for Fort Wayne as she picks the puck up in the corner. Got McDonald, dumps it back down low. Fox Motors to gain possession of the puck. So almost taken away by Fryer. Huffman with the puck, shoots. Goes wide left. Max McDonald looking for somebody. Feeds it up high. Fryer with it now in his skates. Out to center ice, picked up by Llewellyn. Forrest getting back. Playing catch there between Fox Motors. They come away with it, enter their offensive zone. Back on defense is Warner with a good stick there. Take it away as he gets possession of the puck and racing forward. Swipe that by Huffman. Back into the neutral zone. Max McDonald overskates it. Fox Motors trying to come away with it. Defended well there by Warner. They passed it right out to Fryer. Fryer swings wide, makes one miss, and has it swiped off his stick. McDonald down low to take it away. Fed out to Huffman. Huffman tries to gather it, has it blocked right at the last moment. Fox Motors the other way on a 3-on-2. Swiped that by Llewellyn. They cut it right towards the net and finally cleared to the side by Warner. Shot from deep off the side of the net. Fed around from Warner to Fraze. Murphy has Huffman to his left. Reverses. Reverse that player right out of his shoes. Picked up by Fox Motors, couldn't clear it out, kept in by Zaremba. He feeds it down behind the net. Kept in now by Kelly. Kelly makes one miss, shoots it from deep, skips off the side of the net, overskated by McDonald. Fed down the ice and back for Fort Wayne is going to be Kelly. Shot, glove to the side by Quas, cleared out by Kelly. Fed back down low. Round behind the net, it's going to be Cumberland. Fighting for it, now Sutherland. And Westhoff. Westhoff has Zaremba to his right, feeds it down deep in the corner. Up and into the neutral zone for Fox Motors. Swiped at there by Zaremba, picked up by Cumberland. Aiden has it stripped away for a moment. And back and forth the puck goes. Now picked up by Fox Motors. Through center ice with some speed. Swings wide, goes towards the net. Shot, saved Quas. Covered up. We're under 5 minutes in the third. 8-3 Force. Face-off controlled by Fox Motors. Shot attempt. Skips all the way through to Quas. He covers it. Kiefer gathers it now. Kiefer throws it ahead to Fraze. He pushes it in the offensive zone. Kept in by Potts. Picked up by Fox Motors in the corner. Pressured by Hagen. Out to center ice. Blackburn and Kiefer back on defense. Back checking his Fraze. Lifts a stick, steals it. Throws it up ahead to Potts. Knocked back in by Fox Motors. Picked up by Hagen with a lot of open ice in front of him. Around one, around two. Shot, save, Muno. Fox Motors the other way. Shot off the stick of Blackburn, which changes the trajectory of that puck wide of the net. Stolen away by Blackburn, fed ahead to Hagen, skips his stick. Fox Motors puts it back down, gathered by Fraze. Kept in by Hagen's skate. Now Potts with it. We got a penalty here. Slashing on Hagen. Running clock again. 3 minutes left in this one. Hagen to the box. Penalty killers for the Force is going to be Kiefer, Blackburn, Huffman, and McDonald. Oh, McDonald off the ice, Westhoff now. Shot blocked in front by Huffman. Another shot blocked by Blackburn. Picked up by Kiefer. Fed all the way down the ice. Tipped and waved off. It's not going to have enough to make it down there anyway. Gathered by Fox Motors behind the net. Picked up by Blackburn. Cleared back the other way. Fox Motors now with it. We're going to get some long range back and forth here. Blackburn. All right. Kiefer now. Stolen away by Fox Motors. They break towards the net. Shot from deep. Gloved by Quas. Another shot from deep. Save Quas. Covered up. Running clock's going to tick down that penalty also. So in 10 seconds, Hagen will be out of the box. And we got a minute and a half remaining in this contest. Face-off won by the Force. Tried to feed it back. Cleared by Fox Motors. Rink wide, out of the box is Hagen. Onto the ice for him is McDonald. Llewellyn now backhands it. Up to Fryer. Fryer puts it to center ice. Sutherland battling for it there. Taken away by Fox Motors. Back to Fort Wayne. Shot attempt was blocked by Fox Motors. Out to center ice for Fryer as he feeds it back to Warner. Warner up ahead to Sutherland. Good puck movement here by Fort Wayne. Trying to clear it out is Fox Motors into the neutral zone. Sutherland fighting for it. McDonald enters with some speed here, out wide right. Reverses, comes off an edge there. Picked up by Fox Motors. Fed up ahead. We got a 2-on-2 with Warner and Llewellyn. Knocked off a stick there. Llewellyn with some great defense. Fryer around behind the net. Fed to the crease. Cleared down the ice by Sutherland. And that'll do it. It's going to be 8-3 Fort Wayne. Medal of Honor tournament. Fort Wayne, a perfect 3-0. Championship game will be Sunday morning. So that's it for today. Unfortunately, for those watching, the championship, I believe, is at the Southside Ice Arena, which is where we had no ability to live stream. So I'll do my best to see if I can't make something happen out of that. If not, we'll upload it afterwards, just like we did for the last game that was there. But stay tuned and see if it can get on. And if not, I apologize in advance, and we'll get it posted up as soon as possible. We'll see you back Sunday.
Are we going outside?